Hello guys, we're officially live on the channel here. I just wanted to make sure that I was live. Um, so we are officially live on the channel, guys. Wanted to make sure you guys were ready to... I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just saying I'm making an update on the weather today, guys. So, let's wait. We're gonna wait for a few viewers to join in. I don't know why my capture device keeps just it keeps zooming in. It's kind of annoying, but there's nothing I can really do. Like, it's very annoying, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a better view. Alright. It just keeps like zooming, like doing some weird like zoom thing. It's kind of annoying. Alright, so we do have Winter Storm Blair heading in here, guys. Wow, this is the 02Z HRR model is showing like a huge bump of snow for my area. Like, this is way more snow. This is way further south than what was originally forecasted. Like, I don't even know. This is just really surprising. Yeah, that's crazy. If we do look at the current radar across these areas, guys, we've got a lot of snow coming in. It is tons of snow coming in. It's already starting to accumulate on the sidewalk and the edge of the roads across my region, guys. And the roads are very, very wet. It's not accumulating too much on the on my like grass yet, but it's really accumulating on the roads and sidewalk. It's really accumulating on my driveway, my sidewalk, and kind of the edge of my roads. And it is dumping snow across my area right now. It's kind of like a mix of snow and sleet. Like, everything on the ground like looks like snow, but it's like you can also see like sleet, so it's like really weird. What is it? Just making sure we're live here on the channel. And make sure to put stuff in the chat if you want to. Make sure to put stuff in the chat if you want to. We've got a lot of snow currently coming in here, guys. I'm just making sure I was live. So yeah, we are live on the channel, guys. I was just waiting for a few more viewers coming. There's a lot of snow kind of forming in. A lot of this is kind of like a mix of snow and sleet. But if we look at this whole area, we're having a lot of snow showers that are currently coming through the Wildwood to Cedar Hill to Peverly and Festus areas, all the way across Washington and Warrenton here, where we have a lot of snow showers that are currently coming through these areas right now. If you're in St. Louis, I would be staying off the roads, as this is actually accumulating on the side of the roads and these sidewalks. It's not really tending to accumulate on like the on the middle of the roads, but it's or in the grass, but it's definitely accumulating. So stay off the roads, especially tonight here, as the rest of the system is going to form. If we look over here, we've already got a lot of the system's really starting to form. The dry air is starting to break out, and this is really starting to form here. As we have a lot of snow showers and sleet forming. Down here we've got rain in Springfield, and then we've got sleet and ice forming across Kansas City areas. Kansas City, you're experiencing a mix right now. Maybe even I think it's mostly sleet there in Kansas City. Areas to the south are getting more ice, and areas to the north of Kansas City are getting more of snow right now. Hello, Chris, the Hurricane Tracker. Thanks for tuning in to the stream. That means a lot to me. So now if we go back to the weather models here, we do have the HRRR model across these regions. For this is the 0 to O2Z, so it doesn't really go very far out. But if we go to this 00Z HRRR here to get out our timing of these storms, guys, this is going to reach the St. Louis region by around 10 p.m. It has already reached the St. Louis region, so you could say basically that. But this is a 00Z, so it's a few hours ago. It's eventually going to switch over to sleet, and it's already like it's sleet and freezing rain right now in the Kansas City areas, and then it's going to stay like that, and then a bunch of sleet's going to form around Kansas City and the St. Louis areas. Areas to the south are an ice storm warning south of St. Louis, where they're going to get a lot of ice. Evansville, you're going to start as snow, and then you're going to switch to sleet there later in the morning time on at around 11 a.m. there. Then there's going to be a lot of freezing rain coming into your area in Evansville there. Then snow is going to form around 12 p.m. here in the Cincinnati regions. Lexington, you're going to start to get impacted this around 9 a.m. and then it's going to eventually switch to freezing rain and sleet in Lexington around 4 p.m. there. Springfield, you are going to get snow forming in around the timing around 2 p.m. there, I would say, across those regions. If you guys have any questions, I will 100% answer them, guys. I will answer any of your questions. If you just feel free to ask, and I will literally be able to answer literally any of your questions. So, just saying that. Alright, I just had to make sure people saw that I was live. So we're going to get also a lot of sleet across the St. Louis area around 2 p.m. on Sunday. Kansas City, you're going to still get some sleet around the 2 p.m. time frame and might stay a little bit to snow. The models are showing a kind of creep in towards a little bit more snow there, and then around the 3 p.m. time frame, it's going to switch all over to all snow. And it's also looking at this model showing that the St. Louis area might see a little bit more snow and less sleet than some of the earlier models were originally showing there. And then it's got a lot of snow coming in, and then it eventually stays a little bit of freezing rain actually around 7 p.m. and then switches over to snow around 11 p.m. to midnight in the St. Louis region, and then it kind of tapers off around 7 a.m. on Monday. Now, areas towards Columbus, you're going to first get into the snow around 7 p.m. on Sunday there, and then it's going to continue as snow and eventually just basically probably stay as snow the entire event, and then kind of wear off after around the 5 p.m. time frame on Monday there. If we go over to Washington, D.C. here, we're going to switch things over to Washington, D.C. Let's go to the Mid-Atlantic regions, guys, here. For Washington, D.C., this is going to impact your region and kind of head in around 10 p.m., and then it's going to quickly form into some very heavy snow in your area around 2 a.m. on Monday, continuing with this heavy snow all the way into 3 a.m., and wow, this is just going to stay as a lot of heavy snow. Looks like the sleet and freezing rain is going to stay to the south, and areas in Roanoke are going to experience a lot of sleet and freezing rain from this. Really, really close to the rain there in Roanoke. But it looks like Washington, D.C. may see snow nearly this entire event here, and maybe a little bit of rain at the very end of it. And then we're gonna see a little second mode around 4 p.m. on Monday, kind of come in with a little bit of snow forming back in there. This doesn't show the very end of the event, but the snowfall totals right now shows around around 6 to 10 inches, or more like maybe like 6 to 11 inches of snow there in Washington D.C. That is really high total. So if I was being more conservative, I would say more like 6 to 9 inches of snow for the Washington D.C. areas. For New York City, the forecast was around 1 to 3 inches for your area there in New York City. Areas to the south, like Staten Island, it's showing like nearly 4 inches of snow. Remember, some models are saying you just get a couple flurries. So other models are saying you're going to get a lot of snow. We really don't know what you're going to get right now. So just be really weather aware and just pay attention to the models there in New York City. As if you're open for snow, it's not going to be some big time event here, as most of this is going to stay to your south, but it's definitely possible you see some snow. I do think there's a pretty decent possibility you see some snow. It shows New York City getting in on the snow around 5 a.m. on Monday and continuing through 8 a.m. through 11 a.m. and then finally tapering off around 6 p.m. on Monday there. So it's not a very long-lasting event for New York City. That's why they're not going to get as much snow from this. But still, at least you're getting some snow there in New York City. This isn't one of those like huge nor'easter type of situation. I did want to mention that there is potential for a winter storm to come through through the south and into the a lot of the northeast and potentially central U.S. regions here. We're going to go into this in a second. For this, guys, 1 second real quick. Alright, I just wanted to make sure. We're going to move this to the GFS. The GFS is actually coming in. This is their OOZ model here. I'm going to look at the totals for that in a second, as this model is just coming in here. But if we look at the 18Z, because it's just kind of forming, and we can't really get to the further details of the OOZ because it's kind of like, it's got to get to around hour 100 something or whatever it is, because this is going to come in on Friday here. Let's convert this over. Okay, the central U.S. is what we kind of want to look at here, but it looks like it's going to form potentially on Thursday and then really expand into a big time snow event around Friday areas. This one shows a lot for the north. A lot of the snow lovers down south were a little frustrated, as originally this was showing snow for their area, and now it's kind of not looking as likely for that there. Great for me, but let's hope that something like this happens. Remember, guys, this is really far out, so take this with a grain of salt. The models like just started showing this today. It wasn't showing like any. I think it just started showing this yesterday, and it's not showing like it's worse. It's still Friday. It's still pretty far out. It's not like too far out, but it's still far enough out to where like we still have a long ways to go. It's especially far out for the northeast here. Take this 100% with a grain of salt. This is like 170 hours out on like Sunday here across the across areas, Saturday to Sunday across areas in the northeast. That looks insane. I'm not gonna even look at really snow totals very much, because it's just don't don't look at any of this. None of this is gonna happen. So. Well, it's possible, but like I don't think any of this is gonna happen. If we look at the European model and let's see if the European model shows anything from this system here. It shows it coming through. It shows it's a lot further south. This is the 18Z, so I gotta like move it to 12Z, because the 12Z is a lot longer. Okay, this Euro has a pretty similar deterministic. It just has. Yeah, the Euro is pretty similar to the GFS, just a little bit weaker. But this is definitely something we do need to be paying attention to. Remember, like this storm, when we first started predicting this storm that's about to occur today into tomorrow night, well, there was really not a lot like of confidence, you know, like we really didn't know how much sleet or ice or snow we were gonna get. It was because like the winter battle zone and all all these different switches. That's why. This track could completely switch, so I don't completely expect you guys to get anything out of St. Louis. You could get no snow from this. We really don't know. It's still far out, so definitely not really gonna look into this too much right now. But into the future, maybe once we're at like Monday or Tuesday or Wednesdays, or around like Tuesday or Wednesdays, when we'll maybe start looking into that a lot more. if we look at snow totals, the NDFD has around, this shows around 4 to 8 inches across the St. Louis suburbs area into the St. Louis city regions. It's got around 5 to 9, I'd say 4 to 9 inches of snow. I'm putting a big range because it's only possible, but the National Service in St. Louis actually shows, I think, yeah, NWS in St. Louis shows 5 to 10 inches of snow, and then the area in the pink shows could see 1 to 2 inches of ice, maybe even more potentially. We don't know currently right now, but that is what we are looking at here. If we look at the HRRR run, 1 second, real quick. Just to get into that, guys. Remember, I will answer all your questions in the chat. Just ask me anything. I will 100% answer that there. For this here. 1 second, guys. I will be right back. Yeah, snow is starting to accumulate. It's kind of like I have people over at my house, so I have to stop for a minute, but I'll be back. Trust me, in like 5 minutes or so. I gotta stop for a second because there's a bunch of people in my house. But yeah, snow is accumulating. There's actually about like, sorry about that. My dog's going crazy because there's people over. But the side of the roads are starting to accumulate. The grass isn't really accumulating anything yet, but the sidewalks and driveways starting to accumulate. All right, I'll be back, guys, in a second. Sorry. Alright, we are back, guys. Sorry about that. 1 second, real quick. Second, real quick, guys. Alright, just making sure, guys, we are actually back on the stream. Sorry about that. Sorry for the inconvenience there, but, there's still a lot of snow currently occurring across the St. Louis area. Ooh, I've got a little last thing of snow before this kind of tapers off for a little bit here, across my area. St. Louis, you're actually getting into the snow, right now. Chesterfield, you were also about to get into the snow here. O'Fallon, you're going to get some snow there in O'Fallon there, too, looking like, as the snow's going to head north into your region there in O'Fallon, Missouri. Looks like we have a lot more snow and potentially mix forming behind it there. This shows snow, but it's more like a snow/sleet mix, kind of. More of that. This is now heading into the O'Fallon area. It's pretty heavy stuff. It's going to eventually taper off later and then kind of reform. Across the Kansas City area is a big area of just kind of lighter stuff, and then we've got a lot of heavy snow forming. This is really heavy snow. It's kind of like, none of this is really like combined together. It's kind of just like random like showers. They're kind of like random clumps of showers. It's really strange in my opinion. And then to the south, like that's the north where we're seeing snow. I do definitely agree that they're seeing snow probably up there, maybe even a snow/sleet mix. And then down here towards Kansas City, it's all basically just sleet right now. It says a little bit of snow coming right there, but I think this is all just sleet mostly. And to the south, Springfield, Missouri is just seeing all rain mostly from this system, guys. Manhattan, you're seeing snow there. St. Joseph is going to see snow. Other areas these whole areas are going to see snow with this, guys. Kansas City will probably see snow later in the day. If I go back to the models here, 1 second, real quick. So if we look into this real quick here, guys, if we look into the models for OOZ, this is how much snow they are forecasting. This is a lot more snow than I thought. It has a lot further south than the original models, which would be really great in my opinion. But I don't know if this is actually going to happen here, if that would come to fruition. That is a lot of snow. Areas to the north are going to see a lot of snow. I think this whole area right here could see potentially 12 to 18 inches of snow, especially more like this. I would cut off these regions more like. But this whole area is going to probably see a potential for 12 to 18 inches of snow just north of St. Louis areas. St. Louis, you can see 6 to 9 inches of snow, so it's probably a little overdoing it. It's potentially. Hey, it's possible. It depends on how much sleet we get. Okay, that's a ton of sleet still. Like, that's 2.7 inches of sleet plus the snow. It's kind of a little crazy there. But for the freezing rain perspective, guys, we've got a lot of freezing rain going into the Evansville areas. It shows up to an inch of ice. I would say more like a half an inch to a quarter of an inch of ice for the Evansville areas. the NDFT has the most ice going into this area south of St. Louis. This is really rural roads to the south of the St. Louis metropolitan region. We've got up to an inch of ice that sheds, but I think more like half an inch to a quarter of an inch of ice in this area down here, and then more up here we're gonna see more like quarter of an inch of ice, and then St. Louis you could see up to a tenth of an inch of ice. Same with Kansas City, seeing up to a tenth of an inch of ice. There, Indianapolis you're gonna see little to no ice, and then if we look to let's get the whole Ohio Valley here. Cincinnati, you're going to see up to a tenth of an inch of ice, and areas including Louisville is going to see 0.71 inches of ice, 0.99 inches of ice in those areas, and 0.67 in that area there. Paducah, you could see a lot of ice with this system too. You're looking at around a little over a quarter of an inch of ice, so I'd predict more like I'd say a tenth of an inch to a little over a quarter of an inch of ice there for Paducah. You could see a little more, a little less. Who knows? If we look at the national Blunt mile has actually really increased from 00Z. That's a big uptick in snowfall totals for my area and a lot of these areas. Especially this wide area right here is going to see the highest snow totals north of St. Louis is just most likely going to be forecasted there. From the system here, guys. Second real quick. Okay, so I'll be right back in a second, guys. Okay, we are officially back, guys. Sorry about that inconvenience there for a minute. I just had to go do something real quick for a second. Sorry about that. But we are back here. We still got a big area of ice forming. Kansas City Overland Park is seeing a lot of ice at the moment. Lee Summit, you're also seeing ice in Independence and the Kansas City regions there. A lot of ice is currently occurring there. Look back to the St. Louis region. You're experiencing this snow/sleet mix. It shows it all snow, but it's a snow/sleet mix there. And then we're gonna see more stuff starting to form behind this, and is actually gonna head up north towards the St. Louis regions later. So you're gonna see a lot more action there in St. Louis later tonight. So definitely expect to be seeing that later tonight there across the St. Louis region. It's gonna be more of like a sleet/snow mix for a long time here. National blend of models. Let's go to the NDFD. It might be a little bit underdone in my opinion. It's I think maybe a little underdone for St. Louis. Actually, it might be perfect. I really don't know. The models are showing more than that, but some of the models are showing a lot more snow than that, but we really don't know. See, the name 3 kilometers uptrended too for St. Louis. A lot of the models have uptrended for St. Louis, and I think they might have even shifted. Yeah, they've shifted definitely south. Look at that shift. Look at that shift. Look at that. Look at the southern Iowa areas. They've shifted pretty far south there. That's a big shift. If we go to the 00Z name thermometer, they've also shifted south. 18Z was a little bit of shift north, and then it really shifted south there from the 00Z. I think the 00Z is pretty accurate. I'm not 100% sure because I don't know if the models are getting a good depiction of this sleet, because see how the model shows like a little bit of snow in Kansas City? I think it's mostly just all sleet in Kansas City there. And then it shows later tonight as this sleet/snow mix is going to kind of move through. It shows a little bit of potentially freezing rain getting really close to St. Louis there on that HRRR run I'm noticing. But I really like this O2Z model run as it's showing like the sleet just barely south of St. This is like a big shift south. Well, I mean, it's gonna eventually move north and we're gonna get more of that sleet, but it shows a big like snow shift. And if we look at this, see like the really heavy rain right there? That's like thunderstorms. And that could bring thunder. This like could be a line where we can see thunder snow tomorrow in the day. Time hours around like 2 p.m. there in St. Louis. It's definitely possible. I mean, look at this. Look at that. That's gonna come in, dude. That could be thunder snow, like seriously. And then the behind of that is not gonna be thunder snow at all. It's just gonna be normal snow. But that could be thunder snow, thunder sleet, I meant, for St. Louis, and then to the north there, a little bit of thunder snow. That could be some really heavy stuff right there. That could really impact that could really bring up some of the totals. Definitely some of the sleet totals could really be brought out from that. Definitely be increased there. There's snowfall potential. This is the O2Z, so I do not fully expect this to happen. Because, well, it doesn't show the main event yet. It just shows a small portion of it. It shows that still 2 inches of sleet. That is a lot of sleet. A lot of the models are showing a lot of sleet for my region. I wish they would maybe, like, give an update on these National Weather Service offices. It says the next update for National Weather Service St. Louis is, like, all the way in, like, it says it's for a while. All the way till like tomorrow. Like their next scheduled update is like 4 in the morning. I don't think really anyone wants a 4 in the morning update. When the models update, they should just the National Weather Service forecast or the NDFD or whatever it is should update in my opinion. Oh yeah, so what are snow forecasted here for? This is the whole area is gonna see snow/sleet, including St. Louis areas in Kansas City and Columbia. Areas to the north are going to see all snow. Hannibal is going to see fluffier snow to wet snow. I think more of the fluffier snow in Hannibal, Quincy, Kirksville, Maryville, and the Springfield, and Decatur, and Bloomington. Up there, it's not going to see as much snow. But, a lot of snow is going to be in the point for these areas. The highest snow totals are probably going to be moreover in this area right here is probably going to see the highest snow totals from this system. Maybe a little bit further south, I'll kind of put it like this. Is going to see the highest snow totals from this system. Across those areas there: Moberly, Kansas City, North Kansas City, Mexico, North Columbia, I'd say more, Quincy, Hannibal, Springfield, Decatur, Maryville, and St. Louis Joseph especially. The highest snow is going to be over there in Kansas, near St. Joseph. Is going to see a lot of snow from the system. If I go to the National Weather Service in Topeka there are actually blizzard warnings across those areas. That is very crazy. 12 to 19 inches. So yeah, I think the most snow from this entire system is going to be across that area there. Where 12 to 20 inches in Concordia, 12 to 18 inches in St. Joseph. We're looking at 12 to 19 inches of snow in Manhattan areas. Kansas City are supposed to experience 0.1 to 0.25 inches of ice, it says, from this system here, guys. Look at the National Weather Service in, I don't know why it's like that, what is this, Springfield, has a little bit more ice from my area than I thought, but it's a little weird, strange. One sec. If I go back to the National Weather of St. Louis, yeah, that's weird. It has the darker shades up further north, and then like the snow's still the same, but 5-10 inches of snow is officially forecasted for St. Louis areas. If we go to the other National Weather Service offices, let's go to the Springfield office here. A second, real quick. So across these areas, if we look at the National Weather Service in Lincoln, Illinois here, we are looking at 8 to 15 inches of snow in Springfield. Pittsfield is going to see 10 to 18 inches of snow. Quincy is going to see 8 to 14 inches of snow from this system here. Litchfield, you're going to see 7 to 13 inches. Edwardsville, 5 to 11. 6 to 12 in Olney. Robinson is going to experience 7 to 14 inches. Decatur is going to see 7 to 13 and 7 to 14 in Paris there for the snowfall forecast. The ice forecast is going to say a little bit to the more to the south there. Most of the National Weather Service in Lincoln is not going to see very many ice in that region. Just areas of the south is going to see up to 1/10 of an inch of ice in that area, but not very much ice is forecasted there. If you look down here towards the National Weather Service in Paducah here, quick, they've got potential of accumulation. They don't really have their snowfall map. They just kind of have like the potential of 0.25 inches of ice accumulation or more. So they've got a 64% chance of a quarter of an inch of ice or more in Evansville. They've got Piedmont to see 78% chance of a quarter of an inch of ice or more. Cape Girardeau to see a 76% chance of a quarter of an inch of ice or more. Owensboro to see an 83% chance of a quarter of an inch of ice or more. In Paducah, you're right around a 50% chance of a quarter of an inch of ice or more. Potential of a half an inch of ice or more is going to be the highest in these areas right here. This is where we're going to see probably the highest ice accumulation. 31% in Farmington, 24% in Marion. Evansville, barely any chances at all to see a half an inch of ice. These areas right here are going to see the highest potential for ice. Piedmont, 35% chance. This entire area is probably going to see the highest ice accumulation in this area right here from the system. That's why they did issue a ice storm warning for those areas. This is in the really rural roads of Missouri, so definitely be careful. I would not be driving in those rural areas, as those rural roads can be really bad to drive on. They're like really windy and bumpy, kind of like they go up and down, up and down. Some of them are even gravel too. Some of them don't even have like real paved roads. Potential for 2 inches of snow here. It's got a 91% chance of 2 inches or more of snow in Evansville. 5% in Paducah. 5% Paducah. You're not gonna see very much snow. You're gonna see more like rain plus ice mix kind of from this system here. 73% chance of 2 inches of snow or more in Farmington, and 95% chance in St. Louis there. 4 inches or more of snow shows 69% chance in Evansville, 44% chance in Farmington, 68% chance in Vernon here. If we go to the National Weather Service in Indianapolis here, let's look at their forecast real quick. Sorry about that. This is their snowfall forecast details here. confidence is really high. In these areas right here in the white, we have greater uncertainty of higher end amounts. Depending on where if the snow totals shift, like it really depends how far south the snow is going to be. If the snow is going to be further south, that's why there's a lot of uncertainty down there. Indianapolis, you're forecasted to get 6 to 11 inches of snow. A little bit of uncertainty on that, but that's what the forecast is. Bloomington, 6 to 12 inches, 7 to 12 inches in Bedford, 6 to 12 inches in Greensburg, 7 to 12 inches in Franklin, and 6 to 12 inches in Greencastle, and 6 to 12 inches in Terre Haute in Indiana here. If we look at the Alright, so if you look at the ice accumulation areas for the National Reserves in Indianapolis here, there's a little white circle meaning minor ice with freezing drizzle Sunday night. So you could see minor ice. You're in the whole area from Indianapolis southward. You're most likely just gonna see up to a tenth of an inch of ice there. But Bedford and Seymour and Vincennes or whatever it's called, you're going to see a tenth of an inch to a quarter of an inch of ice across those areas there. 6 to 10 day temperature outlook has some very, very cold temperatures here. We've got warmer temperatures going into California areas, then very cold temperatures. Your 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. It's going to be very cold for the southern U.S. If I go to the Weather Prediction Center here real quick before we go back to the National Weather Service's forecast, I think for the 3 to 7 day hazards, yeah, they've got a huge area in St. Louis, Kansas City, and Indianapolis, and Louisville, and Cincinnati, and Kansas, and Nebraska, where we're looking at they've noted this area for hazardous cold temperatures. So we could see some hazardous cold temperatures in those areas there from this system here. Go to the try to find. Okay, if we go to the National Weather Service in Wilmington, Ohio here, their snow total forecast is like a lot lower than all the other National Weather Service forecasts for some reason. They always are like so under snowfall. They like show so much less. So dude, you could see 8 to 12 inches in Cincinnati. It's 100% possible. They show 6 to 8 inches. They're way conservative in the National Weather Service in Wilmington, Ohio. They show up to 10 inches of ice in Cincinnati, up to a quarter of an inch in Dry Ridge, and up to a quarter of an inch in Georgetown, up to a quarter of an inch in Portsmouth, in Kentucky and Ohio areas here. This whole area I think is going to see 6 to 8 to maybe even up to 10 inches of snow in that circled area I just circled there. In Columbus, it shows 4 to 6 inches. Who knows? You could probably see 6 to 8. It's just that National Weather Service is a little underdoing it there. So the National Weather Service in Charleston, West Virginia has this winter storm warning here too. I'm going to zoom into this more as it's really hard to see here, but the snowfall forecast shows around 4 to 6 inches of snow in Charleston. Areas point north of Charleston is going to see, in this whole circled area, we're going to see 8 to 13 inches of snow in that area mostly. And then areas in the kind of yellowish colors, the light yellowish colors, is moreover going to see like 6 to 8 inches of snow in that circled area, and then 4 to 7 inches of snow in the blue shaded areas there. Ice accumulation forecast is a quarter of an inch to a half an inch of ice there in Charleston here. Looking at 0.37. Grayson, you could see maybe even upwards of 4/10 of an inch, even 6/10 of an inch of ice. That's just 0.51, so that's a lot of ice there. The highest ice accumulation is going to be in those areas where we could see upwards of even over half an inch of ice in those areas. This whole area is going to see basically a quarter of an inch to a half an inch of ice, and areas point north, the ice accumulation is kind of, it's hard to tape out there. That is the West Virginia forecast here. If we go back over to Washington, D.C., there's a little more uncertainty to this as it's not really impacted those areas yet. I don't know why, but they don't even have a snow forecast in Washington, D.C., just Their national reserves doesn't really like show anything for some reason. I don't know why. I'm not really gonna question it or anything, but neither does the national reserves in Mount Holly. I think because they're too uncertain right now for any snow totals. Currently, Philadelphia 3 to 6 inches possible. There it shows. And further south 5 to 10. But yeah, that's basically my breakthrough on your guys' snow totals here. I think I've been live for 46 minutes. Yeah, I've been live for a pretty long, pretty hefty amount of time there. But yeah, definitely something to be. We've got winter storm warnings ranging across a massive area here. Sorry, my camera just turned off for some reason. That's really strange. 1 second, guys. I'm just trying to fix that there. Okay, I fixed that. And if we go back to the radar here, the snow is starting to taper off in the St. Louis areas. Well, it's still occurring there, but areas point southward of the snow is starting to taper off. Areas in the St. Louis area, you're still impacting in snow right now, as this is kind of starting to end here sooner enough, though. We're going to see an expansion of snow here towards the Hannibal, Quincy, Bowling Green, and Warrenton areas. Troy, you're also going to see a lot of snow from this system. We've got a big area. This snowstorm's already big time forming here. Kansas City, you're mostly in the snow/sleet right now. Areas point north, anywhere. If I go to, I'm gonna switch this to my red color. Anywhere points northward of. It's like I gotta zoom this out real quick. Anywhere from these areas right here are gonna see all snow. Then areas south are gonna be in sleet/freezing rain. Freeze rain right here. And then sleet for sleet right there, and then probably rain like right now is rain pretty far south of those areas. As you can see, more of rain in Springfield, Missouri, and then areas point north are going to see more of ice, sleet, and ice. There, if you look at Topeka, you're getting ice pellets/sleet right now in Topeka, and areas point northward are going to see snow. Later in the day, it could eventually switch to snow in some spots, but all those areas are going to stay in the sleet for a little while. St. Louis, you're probably going to stay in the snow. I mean, the snow/sleet. Eventually this area of snow is going to get into your area. It's going to really come through here soon. I don't know when it's going to come through, but I think in a few hours here, this is going to expand and kind of shift north towards the St. Louis regions there, where a lot of sleet is going to occur overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. Through the daytime hours of tomorrow, it is going to be we could potentially see some lightning, sleet/snow there in St. Louis area. Then it's going to eventually switch to snow around the nighttime hours in St. Louis regions. Areas point north are going to see big expansion of snow, and basically switch to all snow across those areas. Hope everybody did enjoy this live stream, guys. I tried to make it a pretty good live stream for a while. It's getting pretty late. It's 10:25 p.m. now, so it is getting late for me. So I'm probably gonna end this stream. I hope everybody did enjoy this stream, and